Good morning and welcome back to Other Worlds Wednesday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Batman Gotham City Chronicles role playing game from Monolith, specifically the Skyline edition. Um, all right, little bit of backstory. This is based on the Gotham City Chronicles board game, which is actually based on the Conan board game, also by Monolith. Now, they had done a couple of Kickstarters for the board game and then eventually did a third Kickstarter for the role playing game. I didn't back the role playing game at the time, I wasn't really interested, but I did have the original Kickstarter from the board game. I think I did a portion. I think I did the second one, but maybe didn't complete the pledge. Whatever. It was kind of a mess. But when I saw the Skyline edition come up earlier this year, I was kind of intrigued with what they were offering. And I didn't have the role playing books. I've gotten more into role playing with some of my friends from YouTube. And so I decided to pull the trigger. Um, the crazy thing is, this showed up the other day, and I had no idea. I was at home. I work at night for the regular job, and my son comes walking in with a giant box. I had gotten no shipping notification. I did not hear a doorbell from the delivery guy. I had absolutely no idea what was going on. So when I unboxed it and saw it, it was kind of nuts. But, uh, anyways, that's why we're looking at this. I had planned on a deep dive for the game, which is coming. I'm not sure exactly when, because it's in the schedule. But if you've watched any of our Wednesday night deep dives, um, the schedule is a little fluid. So it will be a little while, but as we go through the unboxing, I'll explain why I'm going to kind of delay that. So, with that said, I've been ranting for a couple of minutes. You all are probably like, why won't he just get into it? But let's go ahead and get to that. But before we do, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few videos each week, whether it's board games, miniatures, role playing, or anything in between. And I'd love for you to come and see what we have to share. We also do occasional live streams. Sometimes I'll be painting miniatures. Sometimes it's doing the deep dives. Sometimes it's interviewing people that I like. So, anyways, make sure you're subscribed. That way you don't miss any of that. But let's get into this. All right. So, first off, this is our box. This is not insignificant. I had to actually change up my camera layout just to get this figured out. All right, so you're gonna have to bear with me because this is borderline ridiculous. Right now, you can see my head, like my thumb is right outside of the frame. That's where my top-down camera is. So even with my larger setup, if you've been around for a while, you know that I got to upgrade my desk and everything, all of this area. Um, anyways, it's massive. Uh, the crazy thing is, this box was 22 pounds. There's 22 pounds of Batman right here. Um, we'll come back to this. This is the actual books, so the Skyline edition of the books, which is over 900 pages worth of stuff. Um, you know what? All right. Let me slide this out of the way. I know, super professional setup. So, we've got 3 books. We've got the core rule book, the guidebook. This is kind of a combination atlas, NPC guide, um that, like, essentially it's a game master's bonus book, but there's nothing in it for rules. Well, again, I'll get it. I mean, I yammer too much, you know. And then the adventure book. So again, all of this is just all sorts of good content for anyone. And then you also have a 4-panel Game Master screen. Let me. So again, Skyline of Gotham. You've got the bat signal. I mean, it's just. Anyways, this is all absolutely nuts. But we'll come back to the printed material in a bit. So let me get this beast out of the way. I swear, of the 22 pounds, the books are most of it. All right. So we have got this box. This is everything else from the crowdfunding. Yes, that's how we're going to put it. It's from the crowdfunding. This is actually kind of cool. You should be able to see some of the reflection. They've got some spot varnish for these bats around the side. Look at that picture of Scarecrow. They're currently delivering to backers. I'm assuming this will be up on their website eventually. Again, more of that UV spot finish. And we got Penguin on that side. I mean, if you're a fan of Batman, I mean, what can I tell you? This is just nuts. So, let's take the lid off. Gotta kind of do it off screen. All right, so we have 3 separate boxes here. We've got heroes and villains, goons, and printings and accessories. So here's one of the reasons that I bought this. This right here, essentially they're giving you everything you might want. Okay? If you just want to play Theater of the Mind, all you need is the books. You don't need any of this. But the game is based off of 5e, so miniatures. They're also spinning off of the board game, so they already have miniatures. So they're giving you miniatures, they're giving you maps, they're giving you all sorts of stuff, and we'll get into each of these boxes. How do I want to do this? All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get these all out of the main box and kind of go through the pile. All right. One complaint I do have right now, and the worst part is it's a complaint about something that I absolutely love. First off, I absolutely love this box. It's gorgeous. It holds all of the stuff. I have no idea exactly where I'm going to keep it. It doesn't fit in a Kallax. I mean, it probably fits in a Kallax, but it would fit like end on, and then you miss out on that whole big picture. Part of the picture is the combination with the slipcase for the books. So I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'll have to figure that out. Might work out better on a regular bookshelf, but again, I have to figure that out. All right, so we're going to change some cameras around. Go to different boxes. Where's my top? There we go. Look at that. Hey, we got a top-down camera now. All right, so this is the Heroes and Villains box. Now, they've done a few cool things here. Number one, they've already told you what's in each layer. Okay? It's not... I think it's actually even in the layout that they're actually in the figure trays. I'll show you that in just a second. But the key here, if it's in blue, it's a hero. If it's in gray, it's a villain. Okay, so it's a bad guy. Little flip top lid. We've got our 3 layers. So I'm going to take these out because I want to point out a couple of things real quick. So in layer 2, this was frustrating at first. So you've got this divot. Essentially, it's to make room for this figure right here. The back side of the tray is a little bit deeper, so this divot here lets that sit in. But then you're thinking, wait a second, why all this dead space? Initial thoughts, I don't disagree with you at all. However, you've got these giant figures down on the bottom. You've got Clayface, Killer Croc, and Solomon Grundy. So, if/when you see that, don't be upset, because they are maximizing the space. So it looks off at first. Why couldn't they have slipped in a couple more miniatures? But when you see that, it makes sense. All right, let's open this up. They got a little bit of plastic to hold the tray cover on. Now, I did already own the board game, so I actually have most of these miniatures. But they've also mixed stuff around. So, between the 3 Kickstarters that they've done. All right. Let's zoom in real quick. Now, this is obviously going to be an easy one because it's a nice big miniature. It's Clayface. You don't have to be super fancy. You don't have to be super detailed. But he looks super great. He looks like a slime monster thing, or whatever the heck you want to say Clayface is. Now, this is not PVC plastic. I mean, maybe it is, but it's very, very stiff. It's almost... there's something I can tap on it. Yeah, it's almost like regular hard plastic miniatures. So the detail is nice and sharp. Like this block right here has some very, very sharp edges. It's not soft. I would not recommend trying to bend any of these. Most of these, which actually, I think that's actually a nice... That's a nice piece in their favor. So there's Killer Croc. I love the trench coat. I like how it's nice and flowing. Look at that. That's his tongue. Gorgeous looking models. So no assembly required. You can see that there's a couple of parts, like the jaw is separated. With this, that means that they did have to glue the model onto the base, but comes pre-assembled, looks good, very few mold lines or anything that looks out of place. There's a little bit of a gap in there, but paint will hide that pretty well. Here's Solomon Grundy. Don't understand what Solomon Grundy is. Oh, little piece there where they clipped off the mold. Not too bad though. Mold lines are nice and clean for the most part. I am not one, if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, I am not one who has gone nuts with, or that goes nuts with cleaning mold lines. So, let's see. Oh, here's Bane. Yes, I realize I'm kind of going out of order, but I'm starting with the bottom tray and working my way up. So, love the hoses. These are fantastic miniatures. So one of the I don't know who this guy is. Actually, I could look at the list. This is Orphan. Never heard of him. Really, really cool though. I like the katana, the little gas mask thing that he's got going on. Let's see. All right, Ra's al Ghul. The cloak, the high collar, the sword. Very nice. So yeah, I probably want to do a little bit of cleanup on some of these, clip points where they cut the model off of the sprue, but overall not too bad. Got the Riddler. All right, so one reason I'm doing the unboxing, I did decide that looks like we got Deadshot. Yes, Deadshot. While I have painting projects I need to do, I have decided I want to get these painted before I do the deep dive. So, anyway, so we're doing the unboxing now. Then I can start on the painting. And get some live streams of that in. And then, Kim and I are going to do the deep dive on this. I did My Little Pony with her. She's going to do Batman with me. So there's your Batman figure. Love this. Love the cape. It's like I think they only... Yeah, this is the only Batman figure that you get. So just quote-unquote Batman. The board game had all sorts of different Batman figures. But this one, it just, nope, you get Batman. I am totally okay with that. But yeah, you've got the bat symbol on the chest. Utility belt, everything. The details are fantastic on this. Of course, I would be very remiss if I did not show off the Joker. Kind of hard to see his face. I'm very sorry about that. Very, very thin model. But he's got his magnum pistol and a knife. And of course, I mean, what's the Joker without a suit? Fantastic. Mr. Freeze. I like this. Very high tech, not too cartoony. I like the giant freeze gun. That's just fun. Tim Drake Robin. Yeah, you get Tim Drake, Damian Wayne. I want to say you got a couple others. You do get Nightwing, so Dick Grayson. You also get Red Hood, so Jason Todd. Commissioner Gordon. In his trench coat. Let's see. Who else do I want to pull out of here? Talon from the Court of Owls. I like his little knives off of his chest. Alright, so that's tray 2. Let's check out tray 1. I do appreciate that they taped the lids on so that way it didn't fall off during shipping. So this tray is going to be more heroes. Again, I'm just going to pick out, some highlights. Once I get the miniatures painted, of course, they will go up for miniature showcases. I haven't done a miniature showcase video in a long time. That's a separate problem. Oh, here's Damian Wayne. So obviously a little bit more of a kid look to it, but still fun. Let's see. Oh, Harvey Bullock. Just good old-fashioned detective. Not a big fan of that lean. Oh well. Not much you can do there. Let's see. We've got Batgirl. Love the dynamic pose. That is gorgeous. Oh, Nightwing. It's with his 2 fighting sticks. And Red Hood. And last one we'll look at from this one, Harley Quinn. I will be honest, I am not the biggest fan of what I will call tart Harley Quinn. I know a lot of people do like her, so this is absolutely a me thing, but I don't know. I think they kind of took some of her away by taking away the Harlequin look. Anyways, I don't know. I like the original. All right. So that's the Heroes box, or Heroes and Villains box. So the Goons box, again, first layer, second layer. Now the nice thing about this is just your generic characters. All right, unfortunately we got all sorts of reflections. So let me open. I'm just for this one, obviously, in the interest of time, we're just going to take a look at the top layer, because it's the same kind of idea. Obviously, different characters. I'll list off everything that we actually get out of it, but we're just going to take a look at the top layer real quick. So in this case, we've got different types of police officers. So we've got cop with suitcase, SWAT with submachine gun. Actually, why is that so bright? There we go. Cop with submachine gun. We've got beat cop with revolver. Heavily armored super tactical cop. Looks like more like something out of Fallout, if you ask me. But yeah, here we are. Alternate cop with Billy Club. So, and then this guy, this is the Ghost Dragon. No idea what this guy is, where he comes from. That's a me problem. Anyways, so generally you're going to get anywhere from 2 to 4 figures on these. They are very generic, but they're supposed to be. These are your minions. These are your, as it says on the box, these are the goons. Let's see. So we've got the Robin Gang, the security guard, SWAT with rifle, SWAT with briefcase, officer with handgun, citizens, bystanders, heavy Gotham City Police Department, Ghost Dragon, drones, bombs, officer with baton, owls with katana, prisoners, ninjas, brutes with chains, thugs with crowbar, carnivorous plants, brutes with firearm, Joker gang, thugs with firearm, owls with firearm, giant carnivorous plants, and then computers and command panels. So technically you're getting 127 different miniatures. I am not... You get about 120. You get like 6 or 7 pieces that are just terrain pieces, a safe, a computer, things like that. So yes, they're miniatures. No, I don't like counting them as miniatures. I don't know. That's personal opinion. All right, printings and accessories. So, like I said multiple times, this comes out of the board game. So, this I thought was a really, really interesting approach. Now, we'll get into these later. These are the dice. Essentially, it's just standard dice. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20. But, a little bit different. I'll show you that. Standard numbering, but the mix that they give you. I'm kind of confused on some of it, but we'll talk about it later. All right. Deck of ways. So ways are essentially the little bit of reading that I've done. They're more like feats. But also kind of like sort of like class as well. That's not a very good way to put it. But essentially, these are cards. So you've got the superior way, so way of infiltrator, way of silence, way of piloting, superior way of shadow. So basically, superior way is like civilian level, is how I'm going to call it. Cops, reporters, private eye, things like that. Superior way of shadows is Batman, Robin. It's your costumed vigilante type stuff. And then you've got your way of wonders, which is supernatural. Killer Croc, Clayface, Superman. Okay. They don't officially give you rules for Superman, I think, but essentially they're giving you rules for Superman. So doing stuff like Batman is known for being just really, really well trained. Okay. Well, characters from the Way of Wonders are, they have some kind of a supernatural ability. All right. They also give you dice trays. Just snap them together, and otherwise it's a neoprene mat. These are kind of nice just for fun. I'll never turn down more dice trays. I also like the rubber. It'll keep the dice a little bit quieter on the table. So we've got Commissioner Gordon, Catwoman, and what's his name? Deathstroke. Deathstroke and Harley Quinn. Why they're matched up, I have no idea, but here we are. All right. Let's set those to the side. They give some bookmarks. Actually, let's just take that off. Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Huntress, Penguin, Riddler. Basically a lot of just the kind of little bonus stretch goalie type things, which I was looking around on their website. Apparently they did Two Faces coin. They didn't include that here. I'm very disappointed. I'm wondering if I have to try and order one. I would have liked that. Okay. It's cheap dry erase markers in colors. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. But we're now getting down to all of the maps. Okay. The maps come from the board game. So, but they're all paper scale. I mean, it's for a role-playing game. It's not for the board game. Anyways, but they're also all laminated. So, are they cheap dry erase markers? Absolutely. Do I appreciate that they gave you some to tell you, hey, these are dry erase. Use your dry erase markers. Absolutely. 100% brilliant. I don't care that I'm going to have to replace them in like a week after I open them. Who cares? They did it. They didn't have to do it. I don't care if it added $1 to the cost. I don't care if it added $5 to the cost. They're giving you everything that you need to play. Or not everything you need. Everything you could need to play. So who cares? They give you dry erase markers. I appreciate that. Go if you don't like it, go buy your own better dry erase markers after you get, you know. All right, let's get the box out of the way. Okay, so let's look at the paper products. All right. I'm going to pull this one out first. They give you a map of Gotham City. Now, they did something interesting. They cut it like a board, like a board for a board game. Okay? I don't care. This actually lays super flat. And I think it's because of that. Because they're not folding it in and on top of it itself. Okay? So it lays super flat. You get an official location map. Okay? Let's zoom in and focus a little bit. Look, it's got numbers. Okay, what's number 10? Number 10 down here on the bottom. That's the Gotham Zoo. Look, you want to go to the zoo? There it is. Okay. We've got Gotham River. Okay, number 15. The old steam tunnel. Number 19. Central Gotham Railway tubes. Number 18. Gotham Light and Power. Again, they're just like this is fantastic. Like, even if you don't like role-playing games, if you're a fan of Batman, this is great. This is absolutely wonderful. I have no problems with it. We've got the Narrows. I can't even fit everything in here. Even with my bigger desk, I can't fit everything. I'm sorry. Tri-Corner, the Financial District, Old Gotham, the Fashion District, whatever. It's all... It's here. Here's a map. Honestly, I kind of want to take this, frame this, and put it up on the wall. I'm about to move my desk again. I might actually do that. Anyways. Folds flat. Absolutely love that. That is fantastic. Pre-printed character sheets. Yes. Can you get a PDF and print it off? Absolutely. Does it look like it was printed on cheap paper and the officer accidentally set his cup of coffee on it? Yes, it does. I love this. This is gorgeous. Everything you need. Again, do you need it? No. You can go print your own. Is it great that they gave it to you? It's not even that many. It's like 20 sheets. Yeah, it's like 20 sheets. So maybe 20 characters. So what? Go print off the rest. Save or save these. Do what you want. Doesn't matter. They include it. It's here. All right. I still haven't figured out what this is. It's sort of like a folder because it's heavy cardstock. But it's also just a cool picture. Yay. Cool Batman art. Let's see here. No, we're gonna start with some other ones. Okay. This is fun. Actually, let's zoom in again. So, again, laminated, you can see, super shiny. But it's like, hey, here's a bank vault. Essentially, it's not even a, like, technically this is really only your workable area. So it's like, a 3x4 room. Honestly, looking at this, I have a feeling that they're not even going with like specific squares or anything. Again, I haven't read all of the rules. This is just kind of like first impressions. What did I get out of the box? What would you get out of the box if you buy it? Anyways, I have a feeling a lot of this is supposed to be just kind of like generalized area. I actually would not be surprised if like I was supposed to pull out a tape measure and like measure distance on the map. I have absolutely no idea. But again, just like, oh, hey, I need a bank vault. Cool. Or here's a toxic research laboratory. You got a sink, you got a window, a door, a little toxic suit, which you can't see. Oh, there it is. Little toxic suit down here. Again, just like, hey, here's a little room of stuff. Great. You've got these little maps. This is going to be a complaint. You'll see here in a second. It's like the Batboat dock. Cool. It's double-sided with the Batboat dock. Like, and it's mirrored. I don't know why. This doesn't make any sense. Monolith, why did you do this? Why didn't you give me another map? It doesn't need to be mirrored and double-sided. And the thing is, there's four maps this size. All of them do this. And all of these are like Batcave maps. So, here's another Batcave piece. You can tell because it's got the Joker card over here. And what do we have on the other side? We have the map. Again, it's the same thing. It's just mirrored. I don't know why they did this. They look great. I'm not complaining about the quality. I'm just wondering, why did you make the same map twice? Why didn't you give me two maps? I realize I'm kind of nitpicking, but it's still, I mean, it's a legitimate complaint. If you're going to sell me on, hey, I'm giving you a whole bunch of maps, and then you're going to take a bunch of the maps and just, like you already printed it. You know, honestly, I would complain less if it was just blank on the other side, because it's like, okay, you don't want to print, but you did the printing, you did the laminating, you did everything, but you did the same thing twice. It was kind of dumb. All right. Now, you get, looks like seven larger maps. Okay. Again, these are double-sided. However, so we'll take, and am I zooming? No, okay. So here's one. This looks like something related to Mr. Freeze or a men's bathroom. I can't tell. I have no idea what this is. Doesn't matter. It looks cool. Looks kind of science fiction, kind of Batman. But then we have this other side. Now, I don't know what this is either, but it looks like it's something for the Court of Owls. Tell me that's not an owl face. Okay. But who cares? Guess what? It's double-sided with two different maps. Okay, and it's 12 by 17. Or so about almost 12 by almost 17. Again, whatever. We have Mr. Freeze's bathroom and the Court of Owls. I don't know what else to call it, so I'm calling it Mr. Freeze's bathroom. I don't care. All right. Something else, Mr. Freeze? I don't know. Some other crazy lab. Maybe it's covered in spider webs, but we've got like a model plane over here. Whatever. Who cares? It's Batman. I don't see a grid on here, so I don't think it is supposed to be used in typical D&D battle map styling. Some sort of plant laboratory. Poison ivy gone wild. Oh. Gotham City streets. Teeny tiny cars. Parking lot, and it looks like an emergency room of some sort, or an urgent care. Probably emergency room. Here's the ambulance. Yeah, now I really want to figure out character movement. 1/2 of an oil tanker at sea with a computer lab. Oh, helicopter platform. Oh, nice. Okay, this could be cool because it's so it's the map, it's laminated. And so if I needed to check off, if I want to kind of send the players on a wild goose chase kind of a thing, we can they can use it to check off areas that they've been to, or where they found particular clues. Like, over here, like on the bridge, a guy was fishing and caught a joker fish. Anyways, you can put a little joker fish over there. Whatever. This is oh man, super great. All right. What do we got next? All right, we got, I don't know if this is all supposed to be in the same building, or is this different floors? So we got a staircase over here, more staircase. Again, I have no idea what this is. It doesn't matter. This looks like a prison cell, or maybe Arkham Asylum. So we got offices, cells. Have no clue what this is. I want to say something for the Mad Hatter, but I don't think you got a Mad Hatter figure with this one. Secret laboratory. And some sort of recording studio. Another street. A boat. Probably looks like different levels of boat. Looks like a yacht. Maybe. Smaller than a cruise ship, but bigger than a ski boat. All right, then we get some other maps. Now these, again, all come from the board game. I'm not going to be able to fit this all on the screen. Okay. So we'll do our best. But I think this is Stately Wayne Manor. We've got our front entrance. We've got some stairs over here, different rooms in the background. And then this looks like an abandoned subway. We've got some train cars, a little bridge, escalators. So again, all of the art is really good. None of this is based on D&D movement. Of course, I say that, and then this one has a bunch of squares, but they've got different size squares. I'm not going to be able to fit these, so I can't really open all. Oh, we got to look at this one. Like an old carnival, so this is absolutely something jokery. So many little details that unfortunately you all are missing because I'm not showing everything. This looks like a bank. Yeah, we've got the reflection from the lights as well, so obviously that's going to be impacting it. Oh, yeah. Different layers of an airship, some kind. So, anyways, but you get... All right. That's not as exciting, so I'm going to stop looking at these. But you get 1, 2, 3, 4... You get 6 of these double-sided large maps. Okay. So, that's everything out of the printing... Oh, the dice. All right. No, we're going to look at Batman dice. All right. This one, you get Batman, Riddler, and Joker. I just realized that the Riddler is the negative of the Joker. Personal opinion, Jim Carrey would have been better as the Joker, and Jack Nicholson would have been better as the Riddler. Personal opinion. All right, so this is the set of dice. You get 9 dice. Now, these are absolutely massive. I'm going to pull out some regular dice just to show. All right. Actually, those aren't. I know, folks. 100% professional. There we go. Something with a little bit more contrast. All right. So we've got a regular D20 and the D20 that they give you, and a regular D10 versus the D10 they give you. So these are about 50. I'm gonna say that these are 50% bigger. Regardless, they're huge. So this is where it gets interesting. So you've got 2D20, okay? 5e kind of system makes perfect sense. All right, advantage, disadvantage, you want to have 2d20. Would have been better if they gave you in different colors, so maybe like a yellow die with black ink, but I get it. It also has a little bat symbol for the 20. I am totally okay with that. So would have been nice, but would have been nice to have some contrasting ones, but that's fine. So you get 2d20s, you get 2d6, and then this is where I'm confused on the dice. You get 2d8. Okay, everything else you get 1. 1d4, 1d10, 1d12. I can't figure out the 2d8. 6, pretty common. I was speaking with Max Liao about this this morning, and we would have liked 3d6 for rolling attributes. But I was also looking up, and they only talk about point buy, so you don't technically need 3d6 for rolling attributes anyways. But 2d8 is still a very weird choice. You know, why you would do 2d8 instead of 2d10. But there's obviously no percentile, so it doesn't technically matter. I'm still confused why they did 2d8. It's not a catastrophe. There are some things that do damage based on D8 or bonus D8s, things like that, but it's still a weird mix. So, regardless, you get 9 dice. They are massive. They roll fine. They look cool. Again, you get Batman, Joker, and Riddler. So, I don't know why they picked them. You also get little embroidered bags. I mean, that's fantastic. These are my dice now. This is what I do. Okay. But fantastic. Literally no complaints about the dice. Confusion because of the D8s. No complaints. All right, finally. The books. This is the last bit. I promise. We've already gone almost an hour. I apologize. Okay. So, they give you a slipcase, metallic foil for the lettering, and a little bit of extra pieces. A little bit of spot varnish on the bat symbol, and some bats on the back. Bit of complaint, but this isn't necessarily production. This is going to be shipping, but some damage in the corners. But this thing is a beast. I think of the 22 pounds shipped, I think most of it is in these books. This is about, like I said, it's about 900 pages of Batman. Okay. I'll point this out real quick. 3 bookmarks in each one. Actually, you know what? Let me see if the different camera is a little better. Okay, so I realize this is a bit of a jump cut, and I've had to do some editing on this. I had muted the microphone, and so totally missed the entire portion talking about the book. So we're gonna, surprise editing option here. I hate editing videos, but here we are. So let's get into this. All right, so you now have 3 books. I think I've said this before. I don't know what I'm going to have said already, so please be, gracious with me being an idiot. You get 3 books, and it's about 900 pages of material. There's a lot of art. There's a lot of stuff that's getting reused, but it's fine. I don't care. It's 900 pages of Batman. More art, even better. So, as you can see, you get 3 books. You get the core book. This is essentially your rules. You get the guide. It's an atlas. It's an NPC guide. We'll do some flip throughs on all of these. And then you have the adventures book. Spoiler alert. You get 7, I'm going to call them one-shots, and 2 campaigns in the adventure book. But we'll look at that here in a second. All right, so here's our core book. Kind of thick. They also give 3 ribbon bookmarks on each of the books. So you've got 3 ribbon bookmarks. They give you 5 printed bookmarks. You can bookmark everything. It's fine. It's got the nice, dark kind of Batman look to it. But one thing I do like on text that you're supposed to read, instead of doing white on black like they did over here. I mean, I guess actually this would be more of a gray on black. They actually do this kind of parchmenty look. But we get a little bit of background on Gotham City and Batman and what's a role-playing game. And then we get into character creation. So again, kind of this parchment look with some black text. I've heard it on other videos. On PDF, white text on black is usually fine, but for physical copies, black text on this parchment is nice. The parchment gives it a bit of a softer tone, and then the black makes it easy to read. Basically, going through how to create characters, how the game works. If you've played D20 or anything from 3rd edition D&D up, you're gonna adapt to this pretty well. Rules for vehicles, optional rules. Okay, this is great. Teams and headquarters. That's fantastic. Chases. How is chases an optional rule? Oh, this is fantastic. Madness and danger. Like, okay, a lot of people, a lot of times people don't want to deal with like insanity rules, things like that. But with characters like, I don't know, any of the Batman villains, that's kind of a no-brainer. So that's great. Chapter 4, tailing someone. Interrogation. How to create a scenario. Yeah, again, they're giving you all sorts of art, lots of text, non-player characters, and hordes of enemies. How to create an NPC, your own Batman villain. Gallery of generic characters. Batman universe characters. So, Robin, Gordon, Alfred, the Joker, etc. So, technically, you could have this book, and you have everything you need to play. I have the Skyline edition, so I have everything you need to play ridiculously. The guidebook. Again, just kind of doing a flip through. The history of Gotham. It's, locations around. Pitches for Midtown. The Iceberg Casino, Ace Chemicals, Robinson Park. Basically, it's like, here's an adventure seed. Figure it out yourself. Fantastic. Pitches for Downtown. Wayne Enterprises. Chinatown. Vauxhall Opera Shell. Gotham Cathedral. So again, they're giving, essentially they're giving you, it's the guidebook to Gotham City, and then some adventure ideas. Absolutely love that. Part 2, organizations. Are they good organizations? Bad organizations? Some of each, to be honest with you. Birds of Prey. Black Glove. Black Harpoon. The CIA. Court of Owls. League of Assassins. Even if you don't care about playing the game, if you just want Batman information, this is fantastic. I would take this over any of those, like, the Everything Batman Encyclopedia. This is great. Love it. Different versions of characters. So we've got Batman. So different versions of Batman. Batman, John Paul Valley, Dick Grayson, James Gordon, Jace Fox. Future versions, so Batman Beyond. Different versions of Robin, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, Damian Wayne, Batgirl, Batwoman, Catwoman, the Joker, Two-Face, Clayface, NPC profiles. So basically all of the characters that you're getting out of the miniatures. Like, this is fantastic. So, and I do also like this, like, say you just want this as like kind of like the Batman guidebook, understanding how the role-playing game works. You can look at these stats and they, get a kind of an idea of how the characters are compared to each other. Anyways, that's great. Finally, the Adventures book. So, like I said, based on the contents, you get 7 one-shot adventures. Yes, I realize you can't really read the text. It's good enough for this. A 3-part campaign, Gotham City Blues, and a 5-part campaign, A Winter's Tragedy in Gotham City. Romeo and Julia, The Skull in the Air, The Christmas Eve of Our Discontent, A Rescue Operation in the Entrails of the City, Terror on New Year's Eve. Okay, man, we are super close to Christmas. Why do I really want to run this? Oh, that would be fantastic. Anyways, so they give you the adventure. Each adventure has one of these little boxes, is focused on 3 action, 1 investigation, 2 atmosphere. I don't entirely know how that rating system works. I have seen where, because like it's not always a 1, a 2, and a 3. I've seen like a 3, 2, 2 in some of these adventures. So I'm not sure if they're all supposed to have a 1, a 2, and a 3, and then just like, so more action, less investigation, and then some atmosphere. Make it feel like Batman. But then it'll show you which map you're supposed to be using out of the box set. We've got different stories, different maps. So here's one. This adventure, 2 action, 3 investigation, 1 atmosphere. The Pact with Catwoman. If you like Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Not my favorite, to be honest with you. Here's one that I was talking about, the 322. So, here's another. 223. So, I like that they give that. I just don't understand exactly how it works just yet. But then we've got more NPCs in the background, in the back of the book. So overall, I don't know, just based on the names, I'm excited about these. All right, so final thoughts. What do I think of the Skyline edition? As I said, I already own the board game. I have most of the miniatures. I didn't have the role-playing game. Did I need to spend, I think it was like $300 and get this? Probably not. Am I excited? Absolutely. I do like that it's all self-contained. You can buy this one box and, there's obviously enough material in here that you could play forever. It's Batman. Joker's going to show up again. Riddler's going to show up again. Do you want to play as Batman? Great. Here's the stats for Batman. Play as Batman. Do you want to play as, your own custom detective who's trying to figure things out, getting help from Batman as he goes? You can absolutely do that. They give you all of the options without saying you have to play one way or the other. In the past with licensed games, sometimes you you don't know how you're going to fit into that particular world. But I think Monolith has done really well so far in giving you these options. Like I said, I haven't read all of the book. I've read some of it. We are going to be doing a deep dive probably 3 or 4 months from now. It's going to be a while, but I'm going to try and get these miniatures painted up before we start. So, if you start seeing shorts for Miniature Showcase, you'll know that we're getting closer to doing the deep dive. So with that said, would I recommend this? If you are a Batman fan, absolutely. If you are into role-playing games, probably. If you like superheroes, absolutely. Obviously, price-wise, does make it a little bit harder. But I do think there is value in everything that they give you for this price point. So about $300, like I said, but it's a fantastic set. The 3 books alone, they could easily charge you about $50 for. In fact, I was on their website. Give me one. Nope. Let's see here. I apologize, folks. I'm nothing if not professional at all of this. Shop. Batman RPG. It's just monolithedition.com. I'll put a link in the description. the core book, yeah, the core books are 52 euros each, so about $60. So you know, if you just look at the cost of the books, it's $180 for the books. Um, yeah, add in the game master screen, and you're looking at about another $30. So $210 just for the books and the GM screen, and then you're paying another $100 to get all of the maps, to get all of the miniatures, to get all the dice, etc. It's it makes sense. I get where the pricing comes from, and I don't think you're getting ripped off. I think this is actually a heck of a deal. So I'm gonna have to. I'll just say it. I highly recommend it. So with that said, folks, let me know what you thought. This is kind of nuts. It's been a longer video, over an hour now, but let me know. I'd love to get your opinion on this. Is this something that you'd like to see more of on the channel? I struggle running games, but who knows? Maybe we'll get to that. But as always, thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.